Ukraine will attempt to split Russia's troops in two in its anticipated spring counteroffensive, according to military analysts. They will look to break through the land corridor between Russia and the Crimean Peninsula, moving from Zaporizhzhia toward Melitopol and the Azov Sea, said Oleh Zhdanov, former operational control officer of the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces. This would split the Russian troops into two halves and cut off supply lines to the units that are located further to the west, in the direction of Crimea, Mr. Zhdanov said. Ukraine will be aided by an influx of powerful Western weapons, including German and British tanks, howitzers, and 1 million rounds of ammunition. Sheer numbers of tanks can drive a deeper wedge into Russian holding positions, said James Nixey, director of the Russia and Eurasia program at Chatham House, a think tank in London. But the stakes are high, with allies likely expecting progress on the battlefield in return for their expensive equipment. Defeat for Ukraine would have global ramifications, and there will be no such thing as European security as we currently understand it, said Mr. Nixey. The Institute for the Study of War believes Ukraine will likely need to undertake a series of offensives, with twin aims. Either persuading Putin to accept a negotiated compromise or creating military realities sufficiently favorable to Ukraine that Kiev and its Western allies can then effectively freeze the conflict on their own regardless of Putin's decisions, said the think tank. Russia assumes the presidency of the United Nations Security Council today, a group of countries charged with maintaining international peace, settling disputes, and combating international acts of aggression. The Kremlin said it plans to exercise all its rights at the council, with Russia set to preside over its meetings for the next month and represent the body to other parts of the UN. The last time Russia was in charge of the council was in February 2022, when it invaded Ukraine. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said, "We urge Russia to conduct itself professionally." She added that the administration expects Russia to continue to use its seat on the council to spread disinformation and justify its actions in Ukraine. Unfortunately, Russia is a permanent member of the Security Council and no feasible international legal pathway exists to change that reality, she said. The council is composed of 15 members. The US, China, France, Russia, and the UK are permanent, while 10 other members are elected for 2-year terms by the General Assembly. Its presidency is rotated among its members each month in alphabetical order. U.S. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley said in an interview with Defense One that Ukraine is unlikely to expel all Russian troops from its territory this year. President Volodymyr Zelensky said numerous times that Ukraine's goal is to rid Russia's presence from its entire country. Zelensky has publicly stated many times that the Ukrainian objective is to kick every Russian out of Russian-occupied Ukraine, Milley was quoted as saying. And that is a significant military task. Very, very difficult military task. You're looking at a couple 100,000 Russians who are still in Russian-occupied Ukraine. Despite neither Ukraine nor Russia showing signs of wanting to negotiate, Milley told the Financial Times on February 16 that it is likely the war will end at the negotiating table. Speaking about Ukraine's victory perspectives, Milley added, "I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it's a very difficult task." A new $2.6 billion U.S. military aid package that could include air surveillance radars, anti-tank rockets, and fuel trucks could be announced on April 3, Reuters reported, citing undisclosed U.S. officials. According to Reuters sources, tank munitions are also expected to be on the list of equipment, but the dollar amount and specific equipment in the package could change. Washington has approved an additional military assistance package for Ukraine worth $350 million, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on March 20. The previous U.S. military assistance package worth $400 million was announced on March 3. Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion, the U.S. has committed around $32 billion in military aid for Kiev.